Rule 506 is the most widely used exemption or safe harbor under Regulation D. It still accounts for the overwhelming majority of capital that's raised in Regulation D offerings. Historically, one of the conditions for the Rule 506 safe harbor was that the issuer wouldn't engage in general solicitation or general advertising. In order to determine whether a communication was general solicitation or general advertising, the SEC applied a very broad definition or had a very broad understanding of those terms. Generally, if a communication was specifically directed at an individual, the analysis turned on whether the issuer or the issuer's agent had a pre-existing substantive relationship with the person to whom it was communicating and had a basis for believing that that offeree was financially sophisticated and had the wherewithal to invest in the securities. The Jobs Act required the SEC to relax the prohibition on general solicitation that was contained in Rule 506. And in 2013, the SEC adopted amendments to Rule 506, which essentially created a bifurcated approach. So an issuer could conduct a traditional 506B transaction, no dollar limit on the size of the transaction. Offers can be made to an unlimited number of accredited investors and no more than 35 unaccredited investors. No general solicitation could be used, and the securities were subject to resale limitations. There are specific disclosures required for sales to non-accredited investors, which is part of the reason that most issuers choose to limit their Rule 506B transactions to accredited investors only. After the 2013 amendments, the SEC adopted a new paragraph or section in Rule 506, 506C, which permits the use of general solicitation subject to certain additional conditions. The most burdensome is that the issuer has to take reasonable steps to verify that the purchasers of the securities are accredited investors. So there's an investor verification process for transactions where general solicitation is involved.